Hello, folks. This is Pastor Mike Hoggard, pastor of Bethel Church in Festus, Missouri, and head of prophetic research ministry with another Watchman video broadcast. You know, years ago, I learned a word. I like to learn words. Words are interesting to me. This one was a word called oxymoron. I'd never heard a word like that before, but I understood what it meant. An oxymoron is supposedly two words that go together that are like opposites, like jumbo shrimp. You know, shrimp are little bitty and jumbo is like really big. There are several others that I won't talk about today. But one of them is called government intelligence. You know, opposites, government and intelligence. There seems to be a vast market in what is called government intelligence. Not the intelligence network that is around the world through the CIA, where we're watching every bad person out in the world and overthrowing dictatorships and doing all kinds of cloak and dagger stuff that you see in movies. But I'm talking about cloak and dagger stuff right here in America. The government spying on its people, wanting to know what our secrets are, what your secret is, what my secret is, whatever. They want to know where our secret broadcasting compound is. And you know what? I think if they dig close enough and deep enough, they'll probably be able to find it out. Several articles here that just came across my desk this week. Here's a report: U.S. intelligence community inefficient and unmanageable. This is according to CNN. The September 11, 2001 attacks have created an intelligence community so large and unwieldy that it's unmanageable and inefficient, and no one knows how much it costs, according to a 2-year-long investigation by the Washington Post. Ahead of the publication, many in the intelligence community worried that the stories would disclose too much information about contractors and the classified tasks they handle, because, you know, the government really doesn't want us to know exactly how many people or how much money is involved in monitoring the average American citizen. The article goes on to say the Post article that appeared in Monday's edition says its investigation uncovered a TSA, a top secret America, hidden from public view and lacking in thorough oversight. The Post investigation, here's what I found interesting. The Post investigation found that, quote, 33 building complexes for top secret intelligence work are under construction or have been built since September 2001, or the equivalent of nearly 3 Pentagons. Now I want to stop right here. And you know, I just see patterns. And somebody sent me this article, and they saw the same patterns as I did. I see patterns, and I see things, especially when they're released in the news media. I think things seem to be deliberate. 33, this idea of 33. There might be more, there might be less, but they're releasing this number 33, and we know that that number has to do with the Illuminati, Freemasonry. It is a number in the Bible associated with the beast. And I want us to make sense out of all this, because we're living in a country right now where at one time we were free. We had a nation built upon what was called limited government. Now I want you to remember that I said that, because I'm going to talk about that here in a minute. Limited government. In other words, the government is going to limit itself and allow you, here it is, to govern yourself. The government is going to stand in the background, is going to do certain constitutional things, but other than that, you're the one who is responsible for your own actions, your own character, your own deeds. You're the one responsible, not the government. But now we see a changeover, and a changeover is coming because we have a beast, Revelation chapter 13, that he is going to, in fact, you know what? Let's go to Revelation chapter 6, because here is something, I want you to look at this. And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard as it were the noise of thunder, one of the 4 beasts saying, "Come and see." And I saw and behold a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. This whole conquering concept and this whole dominion concept, basically Lucifer seeks to have dominion over mankind. There is going to be a new world order, global governments where everyone is being dominated over and everyone is being governed from a central location. Now, the best way to do that is to monitor. You have to have a monitoring system in place. And so here we have this article being released to the general public. 33 building complexes for top secret intelligence work are under construction. Not in Zimbabwe, not in France, not in Moscow, but right here in the United States of America, all over the place. The article goes on and says some 1,271 government organizations. I didn't even know we had that many government organizations. 1,931 private companies work on programs related to counterterrorism, homeland security, and intelligence in about 10,000 locations across the United States, according to the Post, with an estimated 854,000 people holding top secret security clearances. That's more people than what lives in Washington, D.C., in this country, who have top secret security clearance. There's been so much growth since 9/11 that getting your arms around that, not just for the DNI, the Director of National Intelligence, but for any individual, for the Director of the CIA, for the Secretary of Defense, is a challenge, Defense Secretary Robert Gates told the Post last week. In other words, September 11th created a monster. We know that we live in a society right now where practically everything that we do in life is or going to be monitored in some way and in some fashion. Here's another article. This is from WorldNet Daily. Drones in U.S. skies to keep eye on us. In May of last year, David Kilcullen, a counterinsurgency advisor to General David Petraeus, from 2006 to 2008, co-authored a strategic analysis, Death from Above, Outrage Down Below, New York Times, May 17, 2009. He emphasized that the public outrage among Pakistan civilians caused by our drone attacks is hardly limited to the region in which they take place. Extensively reported by the news media, the persistence of these attacks on Pakistani territory offends people's deepest sensibilities, alienates them from their government, and contributes to Pakistan's instability. A year later, in Foreign Policy in Focus, Khan Hallinan, reporting on the increase in drone strikes in Pakistan, notes that the continuing controversy over the actual number of corollary civilian deaths is, quote, a sharply debated issue. Neither President Obama, who authorizes them, nor the CIA, which does the actual killing, directly gives us the numbers. As for the Pakistani government's figures, Hallinan continues, the word civilian is a slippery one because no one knows exactly what criteria the United States uses to distinguish a militant from a civilian. Is someone with a gun a militant? Since a large number of males in the frontier regions of Pakistan carry guns, that definition would target a huge number of people. I mentioned this life-ending ambiguity in drone strikes to a person who claims to be concerned with human rights abuses. Shrugging, she said, I don't have to worry about that. The drones aren't coming here, and since they're pilotless, there are no American casualties, so I'm all for their use. But drones are indeed in our skies. Constitutionalist John Whitehead, who is a careful master researcher, points out in Drones Over America, the unbeknownst to most Americans, remote-controlled pilotless aircraft have been employed domestically for years now. They were first used as a national security tool for patrolling Americans' borders. We know that's not working very well, don't we? And then as a means of monitoring citizens. Drones, pilotless aircraft, cheap pilotless aircraft that can be flown practically anywhere to watch everything that is being done in the United States of America. We think it's okay. We think it's great that we can send these pilotless drone aircraft into Pakistan or Afghanistan and keep our soldiers safe. But that same technology, and we've seen and reported on several things that are going on in this country in past Watchmen video broadcasts, where there are contractors and there are private companies that are building these things.